Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the episode on Realist Agenda. My name's Ben.
And I'm Josh.
Okay, so we just watched Interstellar, right? The other day?
Yes, we have.
And pretty much some context for you guys is...
Context.
This is probably one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie.
I think it is your favorite movie.
I think so.
I think we have to put it set in stone.
I agree. Okay, I agree. But pretty much what we're trying to say is, this wasn't our first time watching it. We've both seen this like countless times, over 5-10 times each, probably. Is that correct?
I'd say 3 for me.
3 for you? Okay, I've seen it a bunch of times.
Well,
I
remember talking to you about this earlier.
Yeah.
You have not watched the movie all the way through more than 5 times. You've watched YouTube highlights of the movie.
I've watched reactions and highlights. I watched a lot of things. I probably watched the movie all the way through, like by itself, like 4 times. Plus everything else adds up to 10. I think so.
I guess we're going to let our listeners fucking figure that one out, because no, that doesn't count.
I think that counts. That counts.
But that's just me, because I like to rewatch movies all the time.
Okay. So I guess pretty much what
it
what
is
are some
your
of your
favorite
thoughts?
movie. So we watched it. I wanted to ask you a question first, Ben.
Did you?
What? I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What is your favorite part of a movie?
The whole movie?
Any movie, this movie, your other favorite movies, what is your favorite part of those movies?
What do you mean by that? What the beginning, ending?
Do you like the story? Do you like the interactions between the people? Do you like, the scoping shots, the long no cut scenes?
Well, I think the biggest one is the plot. Like it has to have a really good plot.
Has to have a really
and
good
then
plot,
you got to
right?
have good actors to act for the script.
Okay.
And then I really enjoy the music, the background music, the scores that they make for these specific movies.
Okay.
And then probably like aesthetics, the shots, the scenery, and everything in that terms. And then at the end, it's kind of everything together. I don't know, but the biggest one is the plot, for sure.
All right. But you don't have like a favorite, like, if this isn't a movie, I'm gonna like it.
I'm guessing you have one in mind for me.
For you? No,
I
don't. I'm just now realizing that I watch so many movies that I have found a pattern in my watching movies that if I see this in a movie, I'm gonna like that movie immediately. But I'm guessing that other people don't have this. And
give me an example.
Right
what are you talking? Give me an example.
Right now, for me, my favorite scene in Interstellar. I'm gonna go specific.
Okay.
They're on the planet.
Which planet?
The first planet they go to.
Which
wormhole. I don't know what it's called. But
describe
the water.
scenery.
I'm telling you, it's
the water planet?
one.
Oh, it's called the water planet.
I mean, they named it.
I think it's water, right? I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure they named it something.
I think it's called the water planet.
Okay, so
wouldn't go with that.
They're on the water planet, and that's when they learn 4 new things at that scene, or that 10 minutes.
Okay.
Anne Hathaway is like, here's the theory. For every hour is 7 years. On Earth.
That's the theory.
That's the theory, and then actually what happened was it's way longer.
It was 23 years, I believe.
Yeah.
It was something like 21 to 23 years total.
Yeah, and then
so
she
it was
claimed
3
it
hours
was
or
relativity. They that in actuality that theory is different or something. I don't understand science. I'm not trying to understand that science.
I don't know what you're trying to ask, or you're trying to.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm setting
the
scene here. All of this combines into my favorite part,
which is
okay. Whoa! So they're on the water planet. Anne Hathaway's like, we have to do it for the science. We have Matthew McConaughey, who's like, we have to survive to save the human race. And then we have the other guy that's in a TV show called Yellowstone, and I'm pretty sure he's in.
Dude, I already forgot his actor name.
He wasn't really. He didn't matter.
I know, pretty much.
He really didn't matter in the movie, but he dies immediately. He's I think
that was so stupid because he has so much time to get back to the ship.
Oh my god!
He just
once looked back,
dude.
And looked back.
Yeah, once he got there, he stood there for a solid 5 seconds before actually trying to get in. I'm like, dude, you had 5 seconds to get in before the wave got you.
Yeah,
and you had 60 seconds to try to get there before just standing and watching Anne Hathaway stuck under whatever, like the broken debris and all that stuff. You had like, you were just standing there instead of getting back to the ship.
Yeah, I don't know. I just that his story arc that didn't. I can't explain it. Like, I don't know why he was there if he died so quickly.
You gotta have 4 people on this mission. You also want to know something like interesting about the water planet. So you know there was like a ticking in the background.
That's a year, right?
No. So that's a year. No, there was a lot of ticks, dude. It's actually a day.
Oh, okay.
So every single tick was
I did hear that.
a
I
day.
heard it like years after the movie came out. Like, I didn't notice. I didn't notice the tick until somebody like mentioned it.
You didn't notice the tick?
I don't notice the ticks.
Oh, I noticed the tick, but like I didn't know what it meant until like I actually looked it up, or like someone told me about it.
Yeah, no, it went viral. Like people finally figured out like the genius behind like the small things in Interstellar. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of that in a lot of movies. But in Interstellar, it's amazing because like I think after Interstellar came out, the like scientists they actually enjoyed the movie.
So like the biggest thing is the biggest thing for Interstellar is that they like pre-planned a lot of scenes where like it didn't make sense like at the beginning where like you watch it through the first time. There was a lot of confusing scenes you probably had when you're first time watching, correct? And then they explain it at the end
of the movie.
Well, like the last 30 to like an hour like minutes of the movie where they explain like all those scenes you had questions about that actually made sense. I'm like, oh my, so I love that type of movie for Interstellar where it actually like keeps you suspenseful and mysterious in that
where
aspect.
You're like banking things in your mind.
And then you have like probably hypotheses and you probably like thinking like this could happen, that could happen.
There's a certain word for that in like plays and not musicals, like Broadway kind of sort of things, or like Shakespeare type plays where like the it all comes together at the end.
I don't know what it's called. I think I know what you're talking about.
That's why I like Interstellar too, just because they're like, no matter to me how ridiculous it sounds, how many dimensions they're going into at the end, like it paid off a little bit.
So like I don't think it's ridiculous. So
it's ridiculous sounding. Like, what is the fifth dimension?
I mean, it's like not conceivable. But right now,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
it just like the way to explain it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. So going back on your scientists, like when you brought it back, where like scientists were probably like super thrilled about this. So fun fact, actually, before the movie, I guess, even started, and the director Christopher Nolan, they had a scientist and some person talk to him beforehand where it had to be in the realm of possibility for physics. So like he can't just do whatever he wants in the movie. It actually has to make like sense.
I feel like he wanted
to a certain like degree, like to a certain physics degree. It had to make sense, and that's why scientists love it, because it's actually very real. And this could happen, and it is in the realm of what we could perceive to be like known as the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, and all that stuff.
Yes, I'm merely saying I noticed it because Gravity came out 2 years before it or something like that, 2 or 3. And everybody under the sun fucking hated that movie because it was scientifically inaccurate or some shit like that. Like the stars were so off, it was funny. Like,
oh really? I didn't know that.
Oh my god, dude, everybody hated it, and I'm like, that could actually happen right now. And I'm like, everybody hated it, so that's why I'm like, the fact that Gravity laid the groundwork of scientists and everybody hating space movies, Interstellar just knocked it out of the park.
Dude, there's only a couple like good space movies because all of them are like pretty bullshit and like doesn't even make sense. So I think they put a big budget on Interstellar to make it actually realistic and what can actually happen. So
Interstellar definitely started the trend of like actual space movies that like scientifically make sense.
I mean, there's like no like what
Star Wars.
Other recent movies? No. But like what other recent movies aside from like Interstellar is actually a big hit and makes like logically sense?
The Martian.
Okay, that one I agree with.
Ad Astra.
Which one's Ad Astra?
Ad Astra is another space movie. I didn't watch it because
I think I've seen that one.
I didn't know if my friends wanted to go see it or like family wanted to go see it.
Okay.
So, but like space movies like that. But let's go back to me talking about my favorite part in movies.
Okay.
So we're back on the water planet. That innocent dude dies so quickly.
Yep.
So we have Matthew McConaughey trying to save the human race. We have Anne Hathaway trying to get the data, and we have that idiot dying.
Yep.
They're on this planet away from a fourth guy who's on their like space station waiting for them to come back from this.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 4 very different story arcs coming together in one tense moment that leads the climax of it is them like hitting the wave and then having a quote unquote, no pun intended, second wave of climax between Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey. And then after that, they just barely make it out, skimming the water. That second wave is my favorite part in every movie.
I still don't know what you're talking
about.
In that sense.
We have all these different characters that I perceive that every single person is a very, very, very different person. I like it when movies highlight that, where I can go, Matthew McConaughey only wanted to save the human race.
Okay, yeah, they had different like perspectives and different goals, I guess, in mind.
Very, like, in my head, if I'm thinking about the scene and trying to explain to someone, they have very different goals.
Yeah, yeah.
They all come together in this, like, life or death, time sensitive thing. Something happens, people die, and then they have to do it over again, and they get out. That's my favorite part. That is my favorite scene of them getting away from that second
So I guess like in other movies, it's like you fail the first time, but then you succeed the second time when you try something.
And that's why those characters are coming together. And this happens in every single movie. It happens in action movies between James Bond and the Bond girl. It happens between rom-com, like the best friends come together and then become friends. Like it happens in every single movie.
Now that you pointed it out, I can see that in a lot of like other movies now.
Yeah.
So that does make sense.
Yeah.
So back to like the fifth dimension.
The fifth dimension, yes.
So like how much of the fifth dimension do you like know or like understand?
Well, Ben, what's the first dimension?
Dude, the first dimension is just I don't even know how to explain it. Like
I think I'm not.
What is the first dimension?
It's not like time. Time is the fourth dimension.
Time is fourth. First dimension is just like X, Y axis in the plane. It's not. It's like one singular plane.
It's one singular plane.
It's like one singular point on a plane.
Yeah.
And then
nobody really cares about the first dimension. But
second dimension
is X, Y.
X, Y. You have two points connecting towards them. Third dimension is X, Y, Z, and we are in the third dimension, so we can perceive all other dimensions under us. So that's why in like when the movie Interstellar came out and they were trying to, I guess, represent the fourth and fifth dimension, it's like not as perceivable because we are on a different plane from them. So like we can't perceive it, but we can try to visualize it. So like the movie tried to make it like look as realistic as possible in the fifth dimension.
So we're talking about the moment in time that Matthew McConaughey is seeing.
When they made the Tesseract for him to be in a three-dimensional space, for him to perceive that, because he is not on the realm of the fifth dimension. It's kind of like an example of that is, you know, when you throw a pebble into the lake, there's like ripples on that, and you can see the ripples, right?
Yeah.
So if you're under the lake, you can't see the ripples because there's a higher plane above you. So it's kind of like in that sense where if you're on a plane below the whatever plane you're in, you can't see or even perceive on whatever that plane is above you because they run by different rules, they run by different times, they run by different like constructs. So we can see the fourth dimension because the fourth dimension is time. You can kind of see it.
Well,
Give an example of it is when you kick a cube across the floor, you can see all four dimensions because the fourth dimension is time. So you can
are we in the fourth dimension or are we in the third dimension?
Well, we live in the third dimension. Time is a construct that we developed. Time is relative, right?
Yeah.
So it is a construct that is just relative towards our surrounding. So it is not technically a physical dimension that we can perceive and see, but if we enact on it, like kick a soccer ball or kick something across a plane, we can see the motion, the progression of time through the third dimension. So that's how we can see the fourth dimension. And then the fifth dimension is gravity. That one just blew over a lot of people's heads. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around the fifth dimension of gravity, how I guess gravity transcends all the other dimensions.
Yeah.
And can, I guess, like bend space-time into one. So you can actually control any other dimension because you're in the fifth dimension. So I guess like time would then be a physical dimension, because for us time is only linear. You can only go forward. You only stretch time.
Yeah.
But you can't go back. That's what they said in the movie. When you go through a wormhole, it's pretty much you're taking a shortcut from one end to the other. You can stretch it, you can bend it, you can break it apart, but the only thing you can't do is go back in time.
Yeah.
So like, but in the fifth dimension, is it possible to go back in time? Because it's a physical dimension where they have control over it. We don't have control over time. Does that make sense to you?
Well, when you first explained the pond rippling and then you're in the pond and you're trying to look up to the ripples and you can't see it, we're in the third dimension. We can't see time. We can only conceptualize time.
Yeah.
But we can't see or even like technically understand time.
Well, we made up time. Like
but like
for
isn't
us,
that the fourth dimension though? Like time?
Yeah, time is the fourth dimension, but we made up the like construct of how to even conceive time, because time is relative to us, since it's not on a plane that we can see physically. So we had to kind of make rules ourselves for the time.
So our time is not actually the fourth dimension.
Like our time right now?
Our time that we have conceived and constructed is not the fourth dimension.
No, because it was like we just added that to a layer of the third dimension. Like I don't know exactly how to explain it, but pretty much we can't control time.
No.
So it's not within our realm of like possibility or reach in the third dimension.
Yeah, because I feel like you can't say like, oh, right now we're in Eastern time. We just made that the fuck up. We can call it clown time if we want to.
We made everything up, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's hard for people to even think about string theory, because that always came up for some freaking reason. And like that's how you control time and space and gravity, is like it's all connected through a string.
As far as like just quantum mechanics and all that stuff, how I guess that's why a lot of space movies intrigue me, because there's a lot of just mystery behind it and a lot of kind of physics.
So like what about Apollo 13?
What about it?
That's a space movie.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I think I've seen bits of it.
Okay.
But I do like it. Would you like it? Yeah, I think I like it.
But what's the mystery there for you?
It's just the exhilaration of like space exploration.
Okay.
And like the new frontier. I think that's like the biggest trend for me for space movies is the unknown is out there.
Okay.
Like the deep sea and the space above us. Both of these intrigue me. It's like movies like what's a good underwater movie that's not Jaws?
Dude, I don't.
That like is actually exploration.
Aquaman.
No, it's like exploration. It's not an action movie.
That's probably documentaries. Like there's I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
but it's like something similar to Interstellar, but under the sea. I think I would like a lot.
Pacific Rim.
Dude, these are all action movies that are not like these are all fiction movies. I'm talking about like
I have no idea.
Okay. But like those types of movies.
There is an underwater.
There's a bunch. I feel like there's a bunch of them. That has like a similar kind of genre to Interstellar. Well, yeah, it's like trying to go explore something, trying to see something new.
Atlantis.
No.
I'm trying to name you all the things, all the movies that go under. I got nothing.
All right, well, we'll try to research that one for another one. But
yeah, I just want you to know, Ben. Interstellar is 2 hours and 49 minutes.
It's a very long movie.
I don't think that's very long, but that's just my personal opinion. I think that's kind of short for Interstellar.
Is it 2 hours 49? I thought it was longer than that.
It's 2 hours and 49 minutes. IMDb, baby.
Okay.
It has a 72% on Rotten Tomato.
That's pretty good.
86% audience score.
That's really good.
IMDb rating of 8.7 out of 10. I honestly have no idea where IMDb comes up with this. I think it's just people rating it.
I mean,
but there you go, 8.7. That's pretty high.
That's really high. Like anything above 6 or a 7 for me is like really good.
1.7 million ratings.
Oh yeah, a lot of people rated that. Yeah. So that's a good movie. If you guys have not seen that movie, I highly recommend. But honestly, we already spoiled everything.
Directed, Christopher Nolan. Written also with his brother Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah. Oh, beforehand, it was actually directed by Steven Spielberg, but then they actually got Christopher Nolan to direct it instead. So fun fact.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, fun fact. So two really good directors that had a chance to, because Interstellar was going to be a completely different movie under Spielberg, but Christopher Nolan came on and made it what it is today.
Damn.
So
I kind of hate that.
That's a little fun fact for you.
I want to know what Steven Spielberg would have said. The score is by Hans Zimmer.
Yep, the score. Yeah, that's why it's amazing. It's amazing.
And I wanted to bring this up because you always like to say this word. The cinematography was great. So I had to look up who the cinematographer was.
Okay.
The leader of, like, direction. Like,
I probably don't know them.
You don't know his name.
Okay.
His name is Hoyt van Hoytema.
I feel like that name is very familiar, but I don't know that name.
You have never heard this guy. But he's worked on movies like Spectre, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Ad Astra.
Oh, dude, all those movies are great.
And he has like 15 movies under his name, and those are like the major ones.
The top ones? That's awesome.
He also did Her, if you remember that movie.
The guy
that falls in love with Siri or something like that.
No, never mind. I was thinking of Mother as the other movie.
Not Mother.
Okay.
But it won the Oscar for Best Achievement in Visual Effects.
I mean, I can see why. So.
And it got nominated for everything according to sound.
Shit.
In accordance with sound.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, but that's another topic for us to talk about, but that's on for the next time.
I mean, I guess so.
Okay.
Thank you, I think we're thank you, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. But
thank you,
we're up on time
Jessica
right now.
Chastain. Thank you, Timothy Chalamet. John Lithgow.
You gonna name everyone?
Michael Caine.
Okay, all right, y'all. That's all we got for today.
Dude,
but
it made $700 million worldwide.
That's a lot of money.
That's 6 times more than its budget.
Sure.
No, I know it. It's
okay.
Right, I got it. I got the.
You got a lot of notes down, huh?
I got notes.
Okay.
I got really excited.
Okay. All right, cool. But we'll catch you guys in the next one.
In the 5th dimension.
Oh, yep, 5th dimension. GG. All right, GG.